Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 52 of the Coffee Club podcast. We did it. It's huge. Everyone party, raise your drinks. We made it the full year. It's pretty surreal, to be honest, because it does not feel like we started this a whole year ago to any of us, I don't think. But yet here we are looking back on a whole year, and really good timing, actually, because, we did all finish our seasons in the past week as well. So it's quite fortuitous that it all came together nicely like that. Right now, I'm still over in Europe. The boys are back home in Boulder, kind of just in that postseason time. We all just raced and all that. So we'll go through that today. And I think our main year review episode will be the next one that we do. That's our plan, is to celebrate the year next time. And we want to try to do some live stream. We're still deciding exactly how that's going to play out. Obviously, we've never tried to do anything like that before, but I think the next one should be kind of more of our year review one. So look forward to that. Pay attention to our Instagram. We'll keep you guys all updated. But yeah, boys, 1 year, how we feeling?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a year, to be fair, doing all this stuff. It does feel like we've just been enjoying the week by week chatting, talking garbage, getting about it, and making up coin freight, just like all that sort of stuff. Looking back at it, I can't believe it's been that long. But even with the season coming to a close, it's kind of cool to reflect. Gus just jumped off the. He's had enough. He's had enough of the year. He's done. He's out.
Gus is
finished.
back, baby.
Gus is done. Yeah, he's back. The big boy's back. The CEO, El Presidente of Coffee Club Pod, is done. He's walked out. But it's crazy. It's surreal. I think it's cool because we've gotten so much content in a year, but we've been able to do it back to back and enjoy it and have fun. And that's a great sign. And yeah, I'm excited for episode 53. Obviously, this one's going to be great, but episode 53 is going to be exciting because you got to go through everything that we've done this year. And that's going to be nice to share everything. But overall, it does feel like it's not even been a year.
Yeah, I think the next one will be nice to have a full review of the season and even the Coffee Club year. But I feel like we kind of started it thinking like, yeah, totally, we're going to do this every week, but we didn't really know if it was actually going to happen or not. So
skepticism was high.
Yeah, but it was funny actually. I saw, and I'll probably get onto this more later, but just a sign of how good it's been and how long we've been doing it is Chris Chavez was showing me in New York. He had like a dictionary of Coffee Club language. It was like a list. Like it was so long. It was great.
Fucking dictionary.
Yeah, I don't know where he's putting it out. It was like all the translations of all our phrases. It was bloody good. Actually,
we should coin that and then sell it on the website. The Coffee Club Dictionary.
Yeah,
we should get that for the next
coming
episode.
Out.
Yeah.
Ask Chris for it, but no, it's been super. I mean, like I literally. Everywhere I go, like it's not even OAC on running. Everywhere I go now, everyone's Coffee Club. Like everyone says, "Love a Coffee Club." And I like got in last night on my flight, and this lovely bloke got a photo with me. He's a big fan of the pod and big fan of us, and he was on my flight back from. I was flying from Zurich, but from San Francisco to Denver, and it's just cool to have that interaction with people that actually enjoy the content you're putting out. And I'm kind of glad and proud of us for being able to get it week after week and not slack. So.
Yeah, that's something I didn't expect after races or at races, like the amount of people coming up to us and just saying how much they love the pod and everything. That's been pretty sweet part of racing, actually.
I think we all think it's like OAC on run. Like they're like, oh, fans of OAC. It's like, no, I'm just fans of you guys from Coffee Club. So it's pretty sweet because like we've created our own brand and people getting behind it and enjoying it. And,
Yeah. No, I think like I agree with that 100%. I think the hope for all of us is in the fall we can do some more stuff to interact with the fans, because obviously it's just been mostly the podcast for now, but we want to get a lot more fun stuff going. I would say, I think now that we've done 52 episodes, I think we have a little bit of legitimacy to like kind of fuck around and do other stuff, because I feel like if you tried to do some of the other stuff too early, it'd just be like, come on, what are you doing? Like if you tried to like make merch after 5 episodes, for example, people are just like, well, that's stupid. Like, you guys are just trying to make money. But now's the time where we can cash in and take everyone's money, because we got 50 episodes down and we seem pretty legit. So that feels good. And hopefully we can do a lot of fun stuff with that in the fall when we have the free time. I will say, like, I'm not sure, the last month for me at least it's been really hectic to keep the show going on a weekly basis without travel schedules just being so different. But yeah, here we are doing it. So I guess give ourselves a little pat on the back for that, because it's definitely not easy. Oh, it's good to see Gus's face again. Amazing. I should say at this point that the second half of this episode, stick around for that, because it's going to be a really cool little fun thing that George and Ollie got to do in Zurich with Jordan Donnelly, who, if you don't know who that is, we've mentioned him a couple of times. He's I don't even know how to describe him, but he works for On, and he's the reason our shoes are so amazing. I really believe that we have the best performance shoes in the game right now, and I think the results kind of show that as well, and he's the big reason for that. So hearing his insights and all that, I think you guys will really enjoy. And also, what's huge from that is that we have finally an upgraded intro, and we did want to upgrade our intro for the 1 year anniversary, and we got to do it. If you guys watched, you probably already saw it, and it's a billion times better than anything I think we would have been able to do. So thank you very much to On for putting that together for us. So yeah, all good things. Stick around for that at the end. I think that'll be awesome. But yeah, moving into like the episode, we did all race this week. Ollie was obviously first, representing the gang in the Zurich Diamond League final, and had an absolute banger to end the season, running how much? That wasn't a PB, was it? But it was another 3:30, huh?
It was another 3:30. My PB is like 3:30.18 or something, or point.
I think it's one something.
Yeah, one something. So it's really like 3:30 low. And I ran 3:30.5. And I mean, honestly, like after
came third.
Came third in the final. Improvement from last year when I was fourth.
I heard you get a nice chunk of change for that. Not sure.
Yeah, it's all gone though from Zurich.
Of course.
Fucking just breathing in Zurich, it's soaked out all the money that I actually made there.
It's expensive.
It's an expensive place, but it was lovely. It was absolutely amazing. I mean, overall, just a recap for my race. I mean, after Lausanne, I lacked a lot of confidence. I hadn't been running much, and with my IT band kind of being the way it was, I was a bit worried. But I definitely felt that I wanted to end the season well, and I was still in great shape. I had run 3:30 a month ago at Comms, so I just wanted to try to end the season strong. And if you guys got to watch the race, you'll probably notice that the classic Ollie move of being up the front didn't happen. I was actually at the back. I was doing a classic George. I was at the back for this race. It went out really fast. To be fair, I was still like 55 point at the 400 meter mark, and then like 152 or 153 at the 800 mark, and I was just kind of moving my way up. And yeah, my last lap, 200, 100 meters, I gained a lot of places and was catching Tim in the last straight, and Jakob was just clear, dominance from him again, obviously. But yeah, I felt pretty confident after that, so it was a good indication to finish off that and be a bit hungry for more, because you always want to do better. But very excited to represent our team and on
in the new
in
kit.
Zurich, in the new kit. The new kit was lovely, very very nice fabric, and just overall really nice speed suit compared to the ones that we've had in the past. So I'm excited for the team and everyone to test the new kit out in the new season.
How did your dome feel in it?
Oh, it was cool. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Can you see it?
It was
I didn't see any
everything.
pictures.
Oh, I didn't get any pictures actually from the Donnelly, but I think they might have sent me an email with a few pics. I could check it out. But yeah, it's really nice. There's no seam, so it's just like wearing like a just a
little onesie.
Yeah, little onesie. It was really
little
comfy,
onesie
actually.
action.
It was really nice. So I
Love
did
that.
enjoy that.
I honestly think going to the back was like maybe the smartest move in that race, though. Like, I think Rambo must have been quite nervous after getting asked to go
2:17.
Yeah, so he went out arguably too hot, like probably, unless you're Jakob and it doesn't even matter. And I feel like being in the back let you catch some of those guys that I feel like probably hurting a bit.
Yeah,
from that first lap.
100%.
That was like 54 low or something.
Yeah, I definitely think I was in shape to run quicker. I mean, Dathan also agreed, but like just from the setbacks we had after comms, it was good to finish off on a high note anyway, regardless. Like, you still ran 3:30. Still finished third in a very, very tough, very, very good field. And was nice to end the season that way. And in general, like just but it's kind of hard to sit back and reflect on such a big year, not just for me but for the whole team, and competing and like the results that have come through. So it was nice to end it there. My parents surprised me in St. Moritz.
That was crazy.
That was pretty crazy.
You got to tell the story of that.
Yeah, so like I was we were going to get dinner in St. Moritz just before we're heading. Like we had a few more days until we're heading down to Zurich to get ready for the final. And I'm looking at the wine menu or something, like the pizza menu, and then I hear somebody whisper behind me, "What are you going to order?" And it was my mom and my dad, who literally traveled 24 hours from Sydney. And for people who don't really know how long that would take, they went from Sydney to Dubai. It's about 10 hours, 11 hours. Dubai to Zurich, another 10 hours. And then like a 4-hour train trip maybe 4.5-hour train trip from Zurich up to St. Moritz. And they just got in and they did all that. And then they saw me, and it was pretty incredible. I didn't know anything about it. I don't think anybody knew anything about it. And it was just very, very special to have them there. So that was exciting. They got to experience, I think that's the first time they've seen me run in a professional race. So like actually in the stadium. And their first ever Diamond League they've been to. So they just really enjoyed it. They loved it. And my dad's a big running nerd, so he was just really excited to be a part of it and watch all these amazing athletes. The same with my mum. And it was just nice to be able to cap off the season with them and be able to celebrate a big year. So Katie and Greg, thanks for coming out. Hopefully you're not too jet lagged now. You probably are, but it was very special.
They've set the bar quite high for track meets. Over finding another race that lives up to the Zurich Diamond League. I was thinking, I mean, shit, they put on a good final.
Oh yeah,
like absolutely packed stadium, not a spare seat in the house. Absolutely beautiful stadium. Friggin' had Dean Lewis playing in the after party. Like this crazy. I mean, the closing ceremony was a bit much. They have all the Diamond League champs driven around the track.
Yeah,
on the back of like all these. It must be sponsored by BMW.
Like BMW cars
with like these. They're like a trailer and a podium, and they do like a lap of the track,
waving like that.
One of these ones holding their trophies,
King Jakob,
and then a bunch of fireworks.
Yeah. But the crazy thing was the Queen died during my race. So a lot of people in the UK were trying to watch it, couldn't watch it because the Queen died.
I did hear that.
No way.
Yeah, they cut it off because the Queen passed away. And that was another crazy thing was like Jake Hayward and Josh Kerr, who were in my race from the UK, like no one knew about it, obviously, and the Queen passed away was announced that she passed during our race. And then the next races after that, every British athlete had a black ribbon. So then Jake and Josh talked about it, was like, yeah, we look like a bunch of dickheads because we didn't wear a ribbon and we didn't know that the Queen died, but people would look back at it and be like, why'd those guys not wear a ribbon for the Queen?
Did notice Keely was wearing one like an hour after your race.
Yeah, no, it was like, I think every British athlete after that was wearing a black ribbon, because Whiteman was wearing it as well.
How is that possible? Do they just carry those black ribbons around at track meets in case someone significant dies?
No, apparently, I heard from, did I hear from Jake or Josh? Apparently, Keely had some stocking, like her mum had some stocking, black stocking, and they cut it into a ribbon thing, and they just used that.
Impressive. That's
what I heard. That's obviously not. I haven't solidified that as a fact, but that's a rumor that I heard, that what they did with the ribbon. But it was pretty crazy. Like I think she just had enough of Aussies beating UK athletes in the 1500. She's like, nah, I'm out. I saw it at Commonwealth Games. Now I have to see it at Zurich Diamond League final. Nah, I'm out. I'm calling it. So, no, I'm kidding. I'm obviously joking.
She lived a good life. She lived a good life.
Yeah. She
rest in peace.
Just thought, the right time to pass on was right when DJ Khaled released his new album. I thought that was a good way to send it off. So, but yeah, it was a pretty amazing meet. And shout out to Alicia Monson, 6th in the 5K street race. That race is pretty shit. I think everybody in that race doesn't want to do it again. I talked to Grant Fisher afterwards. He's like, yeah, would not want to do that again, even if I was in like shape to win it.
It's literally like a Mario Kart track.
Yeah.
It's the most uneven looking thing. You walk over, there's this bridge to get onto like the infield, I guess, like just into the middle of the track where the field events are, and you can look down the track and like in line with the track, and the lines are just the waviest
Yeah, I
like
noticed
things
that.
in the world. It's just like laid out on some concrete and it's not even straight. Like the amount of times I saw it, admittedly it is Alicia, so this maybe not totally due to the track, but the amount of times she was like rolling her ankles trying to get around the corners, it's
Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
brutal out
It's
there.
not good for spectators either. That
It
go to
was
the
so
meet. You can't
crap
see
for
like
spectating.
a couple of seconds and
Really?
they go behind the building. Yeah, it's just
It doesn't make any sense then.
They always talk about how the athletes were asked about like what they thought of it and how it was all the athletes wanting to have the street meet. It's like this is absolute bullshit.
Well, it just shows
No,
you.
not for the 5K.
No athletes would rather do this.
It shows you the detachment between the people that run those type of meets, particularly the Diamond League, and the athletes themselves, trying to promote, like they're trying to make the sport more exciting for spectators, trying to build up a momentum. And the way they do about it is like, okay, so usually we pay 70,000 for the Diamond League win. We're going to cut that down to 30,000 now because you guys don't deserve that type of money. And then
Because it cost us $2 million.
$2 million to set up that track. That track was $2
I didn't know
million.
about that. Wow, that's
And now
That's
now
kinda
it's
crazy.
useless. Now
Yeah.
Dathan's bidding for it so we can use it instead of because we can't get
bring it
into
to
the
Boulder?
Colorado track yet. Yeah,
We should definitely bring that to just have a 200 meter straightaway.
yeah.
That would actually
We're not allowed on the
that would
Boulder.
be the only useful
We're not
thing.
allowed on the Boulder track. Mark
Yeah.
Wet Pants Wetmore won't let us on the
Yeah,
on the
bloody
Boulder track.
old mate Lord Sibco standing up during the meet, like in the interview, talking about how innovative it is and how good it is for spectating.
The street track.
Meanwhile, during Alicia's race, he's sitting in the VIP tent at the bar with champagne, not even
Yeah.
watching. Like he didn't even
Seb.
deem it necessary to stand up and watch the race.
That's the big week for you, mate. Like that's where like you think, oh,
Cheers,
there must
Seb.
be money. Yeah, cheers, Sebi. There must be money in this sport. Like there must exist because if you're seeing like what George and I and my family and everyone that was in Zurich saw, there was a lot of people there, a lot of people coming in. Like there's big engagement. There's a lot of stuff going on. But where's the money going? Well, it's probably going to the big wigs sitting in the boxes, drinking champagne and talking about how great their lives are, but not actually watching the track. That's why I love the fans like Jordan Donnelly, for example. He gets in the trenches. He's down there. He's watching everything. Like a lot of those people who are with the brands and all the other like kind of aspects around the sport, that they really love the sport. They're not in the VIP boxes. They're down like on the track, watching everything, getting excited for everything, watching every event. But yeah, I mean, it's actually kind of crazy because people kind of talk about Sydney McLaughlin and Nothing Mo, like not coming to do Diamond Leagues because and they're figuring out why, like, is it bad for the sport? Is it good for the sport that they're like standing up against it? It's like, no, well, these two athletes probably make a lot of money and they don't feel like it's necessary to go fly all the way to Europe, to Zurich, to run a race where you'd make 30,000 when they could make probably triple that back home in the States, running for their, in their home country, getting good engagement there and being able to like support the sport in that way. So it's just interesting the way things are run because the amount of money I saw like getting thrown around with all this excess, like they had an Omega private box up top, which I was able to see from the warm-up area. And the people that were walking in there, I don't have ever stepped on the track. They look like it was like Prince Charles up there and everything. I guess there's people that you just wouldn't see. Like it's not the people that we expect to see around track and field in general, but that's the way it is. Will things change moving forward? I'm sure it will, but no street meet anymore. So that's going to be carking it. That's gone. So I mean that's a good thing I think because
the thing is that is where there might be also a bit of a disconnect is that for the field events the street meets are sick. They're amazing for the field events. That's the thing, but it's just not not the 5K. I don't know whose idea that was.
Trying to get rid of the 5K, weren't they? A couple of years ago.
At one point. Yeah, but
I don't understand what they're.
I mean, if they're going to have it on the road, they should just have it on the road. Like more people would show up to an actual street road race.
Yeah, and don't do it for the final. Do it for something separate.
Then like a half one.
Because I think the final needs to be traditionally in the track, except for maybe field and throws, so they can mix up on the street because it gets really good. Like the energy for the men's high jump was sick. From what I was seeing, but yeah, like maybe something like that for a street meet 5K. Do it before the final because I think everybody wants to run a traditional 5K in the track for the final.
That's right. Next year's going to be the Prees Trail 5K for the Diamond League final.
You're going to have 3 people turn up to that.
Going to be absolutely.
We'll be there.
Electric.
It'll just be us 3 racing each other on Prees Trail. 1 lap of Prees Trail for all the money. That'd be pretty
Honestly,
sweet.
That'd be a pretty good media stunt right there.
Yeah, we'll take
Yeah,
it.
I mean, honestly, I mean, I'd love them to do like a dog edition because Gus will. I mean, he's in shape. So George's girlfriend Jenna has been looking after Gorsey. This is a Gus update, everyone. I know this is the most important part of the podcast. This is a Gus update. So Gus has now been towing along Jenna on her skates, roller skates. He's been dragging her along like a horse and cart, really. You know, like he's been just getting in shape. He's getting in shape for the off season. I don't know why. Like I've been training this entire time, and he thinks it's a good time now to start getting fit. Don't understand it, but he, I think Jenna just mentioned to us he ran a four. He was averaging a 4:15 mile at some point, towing her, and then he averaged like a 6:47 for one lap, which is like what's one lap? Like half a mile.
I think it's 1K. 1K in
1K.
4:15.
So the boy's in shape. He does
415K
look,
is not bad.
yeah, he still looks like a keg on legs, but he's in shape. He's taking a recovery right now. We're going to do an ice bath for him, just to get him ready for the double this afternoon. He's got a threshold workout tomorrow.
Double
I don't know where
threshold.
he's going to race. He's looking for an agent too. Shout out to any agents who are interested in sponsoring Gus. He's going to try and get into the running game. But yeah, he seems to be in really good shape thanks to Jenna. But that's the Gus update. He's chilling with us right now, being a nuisance.
We should actually take him to a track and find a way to time his fastest 400 and put it on our Instagram. I think that would be great content. We got to find a way to make that happen.
You could just do a reel of like just follow him around like a lap, and then someone has like a treat or something on a scooter or something. You just.
I honestly think he could run pretty fast if you could get him to stay on the lane.
Yeah, because he might like veer off.
Do you think he can break 60? That's pretty quick.
No, I think he can break 70.
70.
Oh, that's
okay.
Quick. I would say 80.
Yeah, maybe more.
Expectations are like pretty high when I say 80.
I think he could break 70 because his first 200 is great, but then I'm not sure if he could stay motivated enough. If he knew,
it's all about the motivation.
If he knew what was at stake,
if we had the frisbee,
that could help.
If we had the frisbee, he would 100% go 400 meters. He would definitely hit the back straight and start to feel lactic, but then he'd rally for the final straight for sure because he'd hear everyone cheering him on.
Do dogs get lactic? So like the same thing.
I don't know. I don't know if they get lactic. I don't even know where his elbows are.
Yeah.
We'll cover him in PR lotion.
Yeah.
To fight off the lactic.
To buffer the lactic, he'll be ready to go.
He can do it. He can do a 10 by mile with Joe. That'll get him fit. With Joe,
that'd be dangerous.
That would be actually. He'd be too fit then at that point. Gus would need to chill out.
Yeah.
And also we should shout out. Sorry, we've been going on a sidetrack. Back to the Diamond League in Zurich. Shout out Sage, third.
Yeah.
800.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
Year. And you would not expect, you just wouldn't even think that she's like a first-year pro after that performance. It was pretty impressive. She took off some big scalps, some big heavy hitters, as Morgan would say. Fantastic by Sage. Really, really happy for her. Amazing season. Didn't break 2. Now 157 girl. What else? What is she going to be doing? What else can she not do? It's going to be interesting to find out. But
it's going to be really interesting what happens next year. Because
100%. And who's I hate to say it. I hate to be this guy. I'm going to be this guy right now. Who is performing better, Joe or Sage? Who is it? Because there's always this rumor, this.
I mean, Sage just came fucking third in the Diamond League final, but then
I know.
It was US champ in the 10K, so it is really hard to.
It's a hard thing, but it's kind of like, oh, where are we? And
that is really
there's
hard.
a thing where couples, running couples in particular, apparently only one of them can perform well, and the other one's the support.
Yeah,
have you heard this?
They're doing a great job to disprove that theory because that's been a pretty strong theory up to this point.
Right now, they're disproving that theory 100%, and it's going to be nice to see how that moves forward. But who's going to be the one that's doing better? I don't know. I couldn't tell from this season. They've had both incredible years, and they're going to cap it off this year with a celebration of their love, marriage, and
amazing.
And I'm excited for the wedding. It's going to be my first wedding, and US champ on one side, 157, third in the Diamond League final on the other side. What type of babies are they going to produce? Absolute studs. Anyway,
can only imagine.
I'm excited for both of them. They've had both great years, and I don't know what else we could say about the Diamond League final other than it was pretty fantastic.
I actually have one other tidbit. We should also mention Dominic Labalo,
Oh,
our on
Dominic.
our on teammate. You know what's crazy? So he was training up with us in St. Moritz, and he is probably the most talented athlete I've ever seen. Like literally, the way that he just rips it off. He doesn't even run that many miles. He's a 5K guy, and he runs like 50 miles a week. And he came second in the Diamond League final, and apparently he thought there was one more lap to go.
No shit.
Apparently, he broke 13 minutes on this street track and thought there was one more lap to go.
What?
God
How
damn,
crazy is that?
He is an incredible. Like not the rumors, but like circling around him was like the training that he was doing that was pretty insane. And then I heard about the 3x5K he did around the loop in St. Moritz, and then
3 times 5K and 14:10.
yeah, and then after that
On
he
dirt?
took his shoes off.
Going around people. No, that was a
then
different one, Ollie.
Different
Oh, that
day.
was a different workout. Oh, I thought it was the same thing. I was like, holy shit, this guy's feet are more
I
callous.
think we
than
talked about this one a couple of weeks ago when he was with Joe and I, and we were doing 200 on the track after a fartlek, and he just was behind. I didn't even notice, and he just took his shoes off and started running bare feet like on the actual track, and was just so casual about it. And I was like, what is going on? This guy is
He
ridiculous.
makes me insecure about my abilities in
Dude,
running.
Same.
He's incredible.
that is insane.
He is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to him as well. Like he's had an incredible year as well. It was cool to meet him up in St. Moritz. He's a pretty cool dude. So.
He's a really cool, fun guy. So yeah, it's very happy to see him have that success as well. So yeah, that was the Diamond League final. The one part that we haven't talked about yet is the after party, which I haven't gotten the full rundown on yet, unfortunately. But I've heard it was pretty wild. Is this true? Ollie, I heard Yingy was getting after on the dance floor.
Jingy has disproven my theories of all along of just like you can't have fun to be a champion.
He's not a robot after all.
Oh God, mate. So let's just run it down. So I won't divulge too much information, obviously, but we came down to the hotel bar to have a few beers. And then there's a nightclub that like kind of hosts the athletes. You can get in for free if you're an athlete of the Diamond League and get a drink and socialize all together, celebrate a massive year, which they did last year. I went with Stewie and Rambo and Ignacio last time. This time around, though, Jake Haywood, Josh Kerr, and I, we were like, we'll go down and have a few beers. Everyone else was down there. Nina Kennedy, shout out, fan of the pod, pole vault, Diamond League champ. She was down there with Curtis Marshall, another Aussie. So everyone was kind of moving, like mashing together, all different, events all together, getting drinks. And Stewie tells me, Jakob's going to come down for a few beers. And I thought he was fucking with me. I actually honestly thought he was fucking with me because there's no way. I thought there's no way like Jakob's coming down for a few beers. There's no way. Like, impossible. He comes down with his girlfriend wearing an old Nike, like this Nike shirt, Nike pant, all the Nike stuff. And then straight away just starts sinking beers like it's water. This guy's been drinking.
What can he do?
And I looked at Jake and Josh, and we just, that meme where that guy does that little blinky eye thing like that? That's exactly how we were looking at him at the bar. He was just chilling. He was vibing, having good chats. We had a good chat. He was going to have a break in Portugal, and he was going to do this at the Berlin track meet and all this sort of stuff. I met his lovely fiancée. I asked him about Gus. He said, "Who's Gus?" And kind of got a bit upset. No, in general, he was just chilling and vibing. And then all of a sudden, we get out to the nightclub, and I was with who was I with? I think I was with Curtis Marshall, who's a pole vaulter from Australia, and we're having a few drinks, and we're getting a bit drunk and having a fun time and dancing and stuff. And then I look over, and then I see Mondo and his girlfriend just like freaking dancing with each other, grinding, bit of this, bit of that. And then right next to them is Jakob and his girlfriend doing the exact same thing. And then there's all these amazing athletes around them, just geeing them up, cheering them on. And it was just the most incredible. It was like seeing Bigfoot on a unicorn. That's what it was like. It was insane. It was so much fun. Everyone was having a great time. The unity of track and field at that elite level. You never really see people like these amazing athletes, talented athletes, just drinking a lot, dancing, having a great time, enjoying the year. Great to be a part of. Did I get to dance with them? No, unfortunately, you have to be at a type of level. I just kind of danced on the outside. I shimmied around, but it was pretty fun, and it was very nice. Got back in at 4:30. Had a Q&A with On at 8:00. So
that's brutal.
So I went to our favorite place. Shout out Collective Bakery, my favorite place. Got a coffee. got some liquid juice in, and revamped me for the Q&A. And then after that was just dragging my feet the rest of the day trying to stay awake. But it was fantastic. It was really nice because you don't really get to celebrate in a lot of other sports. I mean, people probably know this, but a lot of other sports like basketball and NFL, like they have like massive off seasons where they just go party and drink and travel and do all that sort of stuff. Track and field, you don't really get that. I mean, people are pretty much back into running sometimes 2 weeks after they finish the season. So being able to have one night where you have all the people there celebrating, dancing, drinking, yelling out Ingy while he shimmies his way towards the front of the dance floor, doesn't get much better than that, to be honest. So it was great.
I heard did you jump in the lake?
No,
I heard someone jump in the lake.
No, I didn't jump in the lake. Who jumped in the lake?
I don't know. I heard some story about Stewie's passport.
Oh wait, yeah, I heard this too. I think did he lose his passport or something?
He lost his passport and spent hours looking for it, and it was in his shoe the whole time.
That's how you know it's a good night.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, just people just vibing. People going down on those electric scooters about 100 miles an hour. Two of them holding on. I saw one bloke. I think he was one of the athletes, and the girl was in front of him, and he's just literally just grabbing her by the boobs. That's how all he's holding on with. And then all these cars are honking at him, going, "Yeah!" And he's just like really proud of himself, holding on to her cleavage while she's driving the scooter for them back home. So it was good vibes. Good vibes. It was a shame that you boys
wild.
We're saving us three reuniting, celebrating the year at the second annual Coffee Club sponsored gala.
I can't believe it took us this long to mention it. That's actually
this long into this podcast.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I mean, we have a lot
impressive.
to talk about.
We do have a lot to talk about. That's crazy.
No, I did try and get Ritz out for a few beeries to, see his dance moves.
Helen O'Beery's.
Some Helen O'Beery's.
Now is I think Helen O'Beery has moved to Boulder.
She's in Boulder right now.
This is the opportunity for Helen O'Beery with Helen O'Beery.
Oh, if I had a Helen O'Beery with Helen O'Beery, pretty sure I could end my career right there. Be an absolute. That was the funniest thing. I was walking around and people were yelling out to me, "Oh, do you want a Helen O'Beery?" So I knew they were fans of the pod. Yeah,
so good.
This is a good one.
Yeah, but no, it was very, very, very fun. It wasn't as fun as it could be though, because my boys Morgan and George weren't there dancing with the dance floor, showing the crowd what we can do with our feet. It's not much. Don't worry, we can't really dance. Well, I can't really dance. Morgan's a great dancer. George,
Morgan is a great.
Morgan is a great dancer. I didn't see you dance.
Let's hear about Morgan's. Was there any dancing post Zagreb?
Oh yeah, let's talk about Zagreb first.
Exactly.
Let's get the race and then let's get the aftermath, the shimmering from Morgan.
All right, race first. Zagreb. Okay, I mean, I have good things and bad things to say about Zagreb as a city. Amazing coffee shop there. I want to give a shout out to Luta Coffee. They gave us some beans. It was actually so funny. We went there like the day before the meet, and I was with Joey Baratua and Cinta, and the guy who owns the coffee shop was a massive Tinman fan. No joke.
Really?
He went crazy when Joey walked in, and he doesn't really run as much anymore, but I guess he used to, and so he was watching their YouTube content and all that, and so we went there 3 times, didn't let us pay for our drinks once. I bought a t-shirt, I bought their merch and stuff, but he also gave us some beans, the beans that they use, so I'll bring them back to Boulder so we can all taste them, because it made amazing coffee. So that was really cool. Apart from that, the city is pretty average. I think when most people go to Croatia, they go to the coast. I don't think they spend too much time in the cities. But the meat itself was top notch, honestly. I was really surprised because I haven't been at any big meets this year, really. And this one was gold label, and there was a ton of people that had done Zurich Diamond League final that then came to this meet. All the good shot putters were there. Literally, my roommate was Joe Fawn. I don't know how to say his last name. Joe Joe
Funbula.
Funbula. Yeah, that was my roommate. Grant Holloway was there. Just a lot of really good people. So I was like, damn, I didn't really expect that. But the race itself was meant to be paced super quick, bang on 5 minutes at 2K, 7:30 pace. But we kind of knew it wasn't going to quite be that race. And I think our first K was 2:34 or 35. So I was chilling. Like I was pretty happy with that. Like I could tell that we were going a little too slow because I felt a little too good. I was like, I expect this to feel like shit.
I feel
And
like
then
that's that's
yeah,
the exact same split you ran in for the 5K like the week before.
no,
So I bet
literally,
that it
yeah,
did feel good.
yeah, literally. I was like, man, this is not a good sign that I feel this good 1K into this race. And then they did speed up, and I got like dropped a little bit. But then when the paces dropped off at 2K, I think it was, they ran like a 65 at the front, so I just caught back up. And then it was a big kick down at the end. I think the race is on YouTube if you want to watch it. But I was really happy. I ended up coming third. I was pretty boxed in, which is like 100% my fault. Um, and I had to like shimmy my way through like a couple guys in the final stretch. I definitely just like held off on kicking for maybe a little too long because there was literally 6 people in a pack together going into the final stretch. But honestly, for me, coming third in that race, I was really happy. Like, just so happy to finish the season healthy and like get some good results like that against some really good guys. I mean, it was won by Woody, and Woody's pretty legit. So to be just a little bit behind him was good. And then, yeah, the vibes after it were like amazing. Like they definitely know how to have a good time there. There were a bunch of fireworks at the track. Like didn't really expect all of that. Like it was really cool. And then in the hotel, this was pretty sweet. On the 8th floor of the hotel, there's like meeting rooms, and that's where all the parties were. And it was like an open bar, and they had like a DJ and stuff going
That's
until
sick.
3 a.m. And so like literally everyone was there. Like all the athletes, we were staying in this one hotel, and they're all up on the 8th floor. Everyone's season is done that's there, so everyone's just like partying, and yeah, it was pretty fun. It got a bit wild at times. I don't know what I can say. One thing I can say, which was hilarious, was that 17-year-old kid was there. Do you guys know who I'm talking about?
Distance
There was
runner?
there's a 17-year-old kid
Oh,
in my
yeah,
race that
yeah.
ran 7:48.
Jeez.
I think he broke the, I don't know if it was the European record or the world under 18 record, but I think he broke Jakob's under 18 3K record or something. He also broke the 1500 meter record like in Luzerne like 2 weeks
did.
ago. So yeah, I was like I didn't know he was in my race till after when he was like sitting next to me, and they told him like he'd broken the record. And then I saw him at the after party. I'm like, fuck, this makes me feel so old. This guy's literally born in 2005. Like, what am I doing?
That is ridiculous.
And you're partying with him in Zagreb.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, this is crazy. No, he's way too young to be doing this stuff. But yeah, I mean, 7:48 at 17 is crazy. Like, I don't even know how that's possible. But
That is
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah, it was. But yeah, good vibes after. There was a lot of Americans there, like a lot of people that I knew. So just always good to catch up in that way and celebrate the end of the season like that. Yeah, nothing like, I don't know, nothing too crazy to report. Went to Macca's and only the
What?
yeah, went like ran down the road to Macca's like once the DJ left, and only the drive-through was open. And so we walked up to a car, which is some Croatian people, and we're like, "Hey, can you order this? Like, we'll pay." And they were like, "Yeah, chill." Handed them my card, and I was like, "Oh, what do you guys do?" And they told us like that they were drug dealers, and they were like pretty scary after that. I was a little bit, I was a little bit intimidated, but then they handed us our burgers and our nuggets, and all was good.
They give you a card
Uh,
back?
yeah, yeah, they gave it back. I think they're happy that we paid for their Macca's, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, just a nice wholesome way to end the season, and then felt pretty rusty the next day on the 5 hour bus ride down to Split,
Oof.
but it was all right. I don't know. Do we want to get into postseason plans as well now? I guess, or should
We'll
we
talk
move on
about
to
New York.
George? Yeah,
talk about New
let's
York.
go into New York, which I think happened pretty much simultaneously with my race. I think we raced at almost the same time, George, because I
Probably
was
was.
Europe in the evening and you were morning in America.
Yeah. Yeah. No, fit that. Well, actually, quickly, if someone should go, you should go watch the end of Morgan's race at least. The last 200 is very entertaining. There's like 7 people with 200 to go. And it's like 4 wide by the end.
It was
sick.
silly. It was honestly silly.
Pretty fast too.
Yeah, still
Again,
really fun.
I think Woody closed in like 25.
Not surprised.
Yeah,
Apparently,
it's-
apparently he did. I was like, fuck, man. He was so far on the outside, and I was just like, I was just hoping that the inside lane would open up because it did last time I raced a 3K, and it happens sometimes, but it just didn't. And then I was like, shit, I gotta like push through these guys pretty much because like I knew I had like a bit of a kick left and they were kind of just holding. But yeah, I guess that's what you get for sticking on the inside sometimes when there's that many people. But nah, it was fun racing, like real fun racing at the end, which is awesome to have. But yeah, how was the whole Fifth Ave experience?
Dude, well, the bar was set pretty low after last year, not making the start line. It's been in pretty much 2 days unable to eat or drink or do anything. So
Do you have Whole Foods hot bar? That's all I want to know.
I did not step foot in Whole Foods.
Smart.
Damn, I wish you would have done that and just been freaking like, fuck you.
Redemption.
I can eat this and still race.
Well, we did before Milrose, remember? We didn't get hot bar, but before Milrose, we went to that same Whole Foods.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, but I walked around the hot bar like looking at you, saying like, I dare you to fucking
Yeah,
eat
that's
some of this shit. And you did.
So I already beat Whole Foods. I already claimed dominance.
You already got victory over Whole Foods.
But no, honestly, great place to end the season. So thank you to Sam and New York Roadrunners for having me back after, even though I didn't make the start line last year. It was pretty ridiculous field this year. It would have been even more so if you ran it. But like a bunch of rig runners. And
I was dodging you. I didn't want you to beat me.
I would definitely end the season there pretty regularly if I could. It's freaking fun, man.
It was, it was last year. It was a blast. Well, actually, it wasn't as much of a blast because you were sick in the hotel room for the whole time. But
yeah, I don't know what I was talking about. I was saying that I didn't like New York before the race.
Yeah, you were saying you didn't want to stay.
You were hating on it, bro.
It's actually, well, unfortunately, the place where you stay that's close to Central Park for like all the New York Roadrunner meets, like Milrose and Fifth Ave and
Park Central.
Really it's actually like it's perfect because it's where the park is, so it's like the best spot for running. But it's actually like not a cool bit of the city. I'll be honest.
So touristy.
It's just like a bunch of financial district places and then like Times Square, which sucks. So I got out there for like the day before the race. I guess on Saturday, like took the subway down the city a bit, and there's actually really epic neighborhoods to go do stuff. Got a bunch of coffee recommendations from Tom Wang. I ran into Tom Wang like 3 times.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Like
of
in
course.
all of Central Park.
Legend.
Saturday morning, there's like a million people running around Central Park on the weekend. Like it's insane.
He had his binoculars out looking for George.
Yeah. Within the first like 2 minutes of the run, I ran into Tom Wang. He's blonde now. Have you seen him?
Yeah, he dyed his hair.
He looks freaking dope, actually. Yeah. So shout out to Tom.
Shout out to our boy Tom Wang.
To my boy Tom Wang. And so I actually had a great time in New York day before, at least, and got some nice food.
Did you go out afterwards?
Went to the yes.
How was it? Were you rough afterwards?
We haven't even talked about the race yet. All you skipped the race, bro.
Yeah,
always getting too excited. He's getting too excited.
About the after. Sorry. It's
so
too exciting.
If you don't saw the video, it's absolutely pissing down with rain during the race. Which I think it was for yours too, Morg, right? A few years ago, 2018, 2019. Was that the wet one
man.
that Jake Whiteman also won?
No, I don't think mine was wet, actually. No.
Yours wasn't wet one?
Maybe last year.
No, last year was beautiful.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. It was the last one Jake won. Was also raining. Oh, no, not
I thought he won last year, yeah.
The first one Jake won was in the rain.
Maybe it was 2018 or something.
So I think it rains like a decent amount for this race.
Dude, what about Josh Kerr falling over?
Yeah.
Right. Did you see that, Ollie?
No, I haven't seen it.
He hasn't seen it.
Oh, I didn't even know he fell over. I just thought he had a shit race.
No, well, he like tripped at the start line.
He just full hands and knees off the line. We stood there for so long, like a good 10 minutes on the start line. I don't know, like the TV.
And there must have been a lot of people there as well.
The TV window or something must have like
a big lineup. So it must have been like a big line to have everybody on there.
Yeah, it was. I was in the second row, and there was like a third row behind me. It's pretty crazy. And I was trying to dry my shoes a bit, like just scraping on the ground because I didn't want what happened to Josh to happen. I was like, oh, someone's gonna go down right here. I didn't even know he went down until I saw afterwards. Though he was like way on the other side.
Yeah, he kind of ruined.
Yeah, he was right at the front.
Oh shit! So he would have ruined everyone behind him.
No, he took out. I think he kind of fucked up Eric Holt's race as well a bit.
Yeah, and Holt a bit.
I felt bad for him.
But yeah, it's just ridiculous, like sprinting down Fifth Ave in the pouring rain. Like it's kind
There's
of
good fans out there, a lot of fans.
Oh yeah, so many. It was sweet.
That's freaking awesome.
It's like a pretty ridiculous concept, but
yeah. I forgot Joe was running it too.
Yeah, Klexmix.
Yeah, Klexmix was in it.
He was in the lead with like 200 meters to go. He was crushing it.
He was like that last year.
Yeah, he was actually.
Yeah. He gets himself in a good position.
It was so fun. We obviously called Passoni getting that $3,000. It
Did
actually
he say
was like
he was going to do that?
No, he was adamant that he wasn't going to do it.
No, because that's what happened in 2019 as well. He
He
said he wasn't.
says that every time.
I'm not surprised. He was 100% going for it, whether he says he was or wasn't. It's just like such a textbook.
This year was crazy though, because no one was going for it till like so late. It was absolutely free money.
It's textbook passing it, going for it. Getting the bag.
And you have to come fifth to make $1,000 or more. So unless you think you're going to get fifth, you should probably just go for it.
Yeah,
and I don't think he was going to get fifth.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy that only top 5. I thought it'd be like top 8 or top 10 because it's such a big meet, you know.
So,
is it really $3,000?
No, 1,000.
Oh, 1,000 to the halfway. Okay, still pretty good money.
So we only got 1,000. Yeah, because you have to be sub 4 to finish, right? Together.
Yeah, but you came last in that race and you ran sub 4.
It's pretty wild.
I think it was first time ever or something that everyone broke 4. I don't know. But honestly, if I did it again, I would run it very differently. I kind of wish I did it last year. So I don't know, but I was so dumb. I started like so far all the way on the right, which I don't know if that is maybe a mistake. I don't know which side of the road is better. And then if anyone saw the video, like with 200 to go, I'm all the way on the left-hand side of the road, probably a good like 6 or 7 meters like sideways from where I started. And I don't even know how that happened. At some point, like, it's hard to get through people in the middle. So I was like slowed down a bit and then like went around the back of the front group and then like tried to go around the other side and left way too much work to do. But it was fun. It gets hard. The last like 200 meters is pretty long once you can see the finish line from so far away.
How are the shoes?
Fine, I think.
Yeah,
like
good.
Slippery, but I think everyone was.
I mean, yeah, with the weather like that. Yeah,
I didn't fall, so not much to report. I felt like I could still sprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you end up coming?
All right, let's go. Come on.
What did you end up coming, George?
Oh, I came 6th, 3:51.0.
Pretty freaking fast.
Pretty damn good. Yeah. It's pretty damn good.
It was only. I thought I was like. It was only. I think Jake ran 1:49.6 maybe.
1:49 for a mile.
Yeah, 1:45.
He just said 1:49.
All right, wasn't 1:49.
That's real speedy.
3:49. Yeah, I know. Come on, let's go after party. Come on, Morgs.
0.6.
Come on, Morgs.
Did something crazy happen at the after party that Ollie wants to know about?
He looked like he won it so easily.
Oh, I mean, he's had another guy that's like had one of the best years I've ever seen. Just
insane,
crushing it, Jake Whiteman.
It was great fun.
No, it looked like a great time.
And then, there was a bit of an after party. Quite nicely. It was been last year because during COVID there wasn't they didn't put anything on. But this year there was open bar from 5 till 10, like 5 hours of free drinks. Any drinks you wanted.
So this is the thing. I got a message from Chris Chavez when I was in Zurich. He's like, "Hey, it's not gonna be as good as the gala, but Citrus Mag is hosting the after party after Fifth Ave. You should come." Blah blah blah. And then I was like, "Oh, I'm not coming." And he was like,
"Well, you missed out on a great time."
Yeah, and he was like, "No, like it's seriously, it's gonna be like really good. Like tell everyone, tell your friends, blah blah blah." I was like, "Okay," but I was like, "Oh, he doesn't need free advertisement. Sure, it's gonna be good." So, but in general, like it looked like the photos were like really nice. There's like these lovely, like everyone was dressed really nice. There's all these nice photos of everyone just with nice cocktail drinks and like, I mean, everyone looked really nice, really, you know.
It was great.
Well dressed.
2 hours of bar provided by New York Roadrunners.
That's really nice. That's a good idea.
Some food, and then we went 1 block away to Sidious party.
Yeah, was it good?
Yeah, racked up quite a tab. Apparently, we had to hit a minimum of $6,000. I don't know why it's a minimum. I don't know.
Yeah, wait. What happens if you don't do that?
Well, that's what I was wondering.
makes
maybe it's
no
$6,000 no matter what, even if you only spend 5.
Maybe they
that must be what it
get
is. That must be what it is.
a discount drinks, and then after that,
But then we went over and they just put another like $1,000 on it or something.
That's freaking tight.
So
yeah, I reckon you probably have to pay for 6,000 in advance to like lock it down. I reckon.
Yeah,
And then
that's probably what it was.
for anything down that.
So
Makes
City man must be feeling flush.
Hashtag good for the sport. Hey, mate,
Yeah.
they must be doing well. Doing better than us. I don't think at the gala we're going to be putting down $6,000.
Yeah, what the fuck? Actually, now we need to do that as well. All right, minimum 7,000.
I got you.
Guys,
I got
come
you.
on.
I got you.
Come on,
I
7,000.
believe they may have had a little help from sponsoring brand.
Okay, we need to get some sponsors for this party, guys. And it can't just be us.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. If anyone wants to sponsor the gala, reach out
Yeah.
in the next month.
We will sell ourselves for you. We will wear
We'll get
whatever
a bunch
clothes you
of
want.
tequila companies to sponsor it. That'd be sick.
Actually, that would be pretty sweet. That would be dangerous, though, if it's only tequila at our party.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Actually, there was a lovely speech by both Laura and Jake at the.
They had to speak.
But yeah, apparently that's tradition that the winners speak at
Fucking hell.
the little after thing.
What would you have said if you won?
They both spoke very well. I don't know. I didn't win.
Yeah, but what would you have said if you did win? I want to know what you have said.
Hey, Ollie,
George-
you'll find
George-
out when he wins. You'll find out when he wins.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, well, if I ever win that, I know what I'm going to say.
So, but yeah, and I had a lovely time. Everyone out partying I lasted till maybe 12:30. I had to leave for the
12:30?
airport at 4 though.
4 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
What 12:30? That was like probably 8 a.m. Europe time from 2 days ago.
Yeah, true.
But
Yeah.
that was just when the live music finished.
4
and
a.m.
then the live music finished, and then a bunch of us.
Mate, I
left.
can't believe you booked a 4 a.m. flight after New York 5th Ave. That's fucking
Yeah, what
crazy.
the fuck?
No, the flight was at 6.
Oh,
I think
but yeah.
I think I left the hotel at 4.
Still,
6
early.
is still
got a couple
crazy. Like, I don't get how people do that, man. Like, that just sounds like the worst thing in the world.
Oh, it sounds
Like,
shocking.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
I was walking back from the airport last night, and people were boarding a flight from Denver to Newark at 11:50 p.m. How fucking
Oh
horrible
my
does
God.
that sound? There's
Dude,
some flights
yeah,
out there that you just
overnight.
everyone on there is miserable.
Red eyes, miserable.
They're fucking.
Well, I
worse.
thought maybe at 6 a.m. I'd be like higher chance of getting upgraded.
Did you get upgraded?
Not a chance. I was like 10th.
Dude, okay,
It's impossible.
I understand. I am 1K. I have flown so much this year. I've spent so much money with United.
Did you
And
get
I'm like-
upgraded today or last night?
No, I was like 15th on the list. I was like,
I
there's
don't understand
no
it.
way these people have traveled
Not
to
enough
Europe
money,
fucking
man.
5 times and spent this much money on traveling domestically in the States as well. I do not get it. United, what the hell is going on? I am a 1K member. You respect my opinion as a loyal customer.
Sorry,
I'm going
Ollie,
to-
you just got to spend more money, man. You're just not spending enough on them.
No,
Got the
actually, I shouldn't
big
complain.
business
I do
guys.
get upgraded quite a bit.
Yeah.
I get upgraded a lot. So
I'm trying to think of someone the equivalent of Jingy coming out after the race, but I feel like everyone was just expected.
I mean, Wyman's the equivalent of Jingy because he didn't go out
He was still
in Zurich. He had like 1 beer.
honestly. By the time I left, it was just the Brits that were still going.
Of course it was, dude. The Brits freaking love it.
Have some freaking stamina
Oh mate,
when they're out, man. It is so impressive.
natural
Yeah.
born athletes and natural born
Yeah.
drinkers.
Josh was having a great time.
Because his missus was there, wasn't
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, I think that they're going on holiday after that too. It's funny, all the Brits were going on holidays to like Greece or
Yeah, they
wherever.
were.
Like I think
Of
Wyman
course.
was
They know
going
how to
to
have a
Greece
good
with his
time.
girlfriend and mate,
But
great, good for the sport. Hashtag good for the sport. All three:
Yeah.
Zagreb, New York, Zurich.
Fifth Ave is very good for the sport. It's a great spectacle of like what running can be because it's so great that there's like thousands of people run beforehand in like I don't know age group races, whatever else sub elite, and so they all just like hang around after the race to watch the elite races. So there's like heaps of people there, heaps of college teams came up, asked for photos.
Hell yeah!
And
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
special.
just good times all around, good vibes.
Good vibes. Yeah. I don't know if
Yeah.
there's anything else we
You'd
can
love
add.
to see it.
I think we've covered.
Yeah, I
nearly
mean,
everything.
amazing way to finish up for everyone, and we all celebrated. And now we're currently in that postseason phase where I don't think any of us have run a step since those races that we just mentioned. We were talking a bit the last few weeks about our postseason plans, so I think we should just do a little update check-in on that. As I said in the beginning, I'm in Paris now for like another 5 days and then back to Boulder with the boys. But I went to Split in Croatia for a few days. Got the bus down there. Which, guys, like, you got to go there. I mean, I find it really weird. I think I said this before, to pay a bunch of money to go to like the beach, when it's like the beach is just like at home for us as well. But considering I haven't been back home for like 3 years now, it was very special to get to be able to do that before coming back to the mountains of Colorado. And yeah, I mean, Croatia is, it's obviously split as massive tourist place. I don't know if this is a true fact, but one of my Uber drivers said that tourism is 50% of Croatia's GDP, which I guess that gives you some perspective on how massive it is for that. And it's just absolutely beautiful. Just like the life there was just so relaxing after like being in race mode and all that, and training mode was just so chill. You just go hop in the water, just take a tour around the different like islands and that, and just like cheap food relatively, but like really high quality and just a good time. So hopefully one of these years we all go on one of those trips together, because it was a lot of fun. But now I'm in Paris, living it up in Paris as well. So pretty cool over here. Ollie, did you have a good time in Zurich?
Ollie had to take out a loan.
Fucking hell, I spent so much money in Zurich.
Not cheap.
No, and I went to Gucci as well and spent a shit ton of money as well.
Oh my god! What did you get at Gucci? What did you get?
Like, I don't know if I want to say it on the. I got like.
We don't need numbers.
We don't need numbers, but I got some pants, like really nice pants for the wedding, for Joe and Sage's wedding. I got like the loafer shoes, really nice loafer shoes.
Like the classic Gucci ones?
Yeah, and then I got a
I'm going to make so much money when you wear those.
Yeah, no, but they look freaking sweet. I don't care. Make fun of me as much as you want. They look amazing. And then I got a Prada shirt, like a nice dress shirt from Prada. And then I got a watch from Gucci as well, like a Swiss-made watch. And then I just spent like a shit ton of money on. Well, it's made in Switzerland.
Italian brand.
Yeah,
interesting.
It's confusing, huh?
It's pretty confusing, but it looks sick. And then I spent a lot of money on drinks, just eating food. The food there was amazing, but so freaking expensive. I'm scared to look at my bank account. I'm pretty sure all the money I made in the Diamond League final was gone. Because
we do always say that prize money isn't real. Like, it's not real. You just have to spend it on stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all you can do. It's the only way. But you're not allowed to save that money.
I was like, fuck it. Like, I want to buy something nice, and
it's even better if you spend it before you get paid it too.
Yeah, which is exactly what I did.
Probably not going to get paid that money for like 9 months, honestly.
Yeah, but it's coming anyway. Who cares?
That's the best way to do it. You spend it as soon as possible. By the time you get paid it with inflation, it'll be worth half as much anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
You spend it now.
True that.
Genius.
But no, it was really, really nice, beautiful place. Zurich, sat on the river a lot. Had some good coffee. Collective Bakery was my spot to go to, and then I'd just get the tram around and have some good vibes. The food, the Japanese food there was really good. Didn't do any fondue because that stuff smelled weird. But had some good ice cream, hung out. The one thing I got annoyed with though eventually, and I was like keen to get the fuck out, was the smoke. Everybody smokes. It was like, it was so bad. Like going
Europe
out.
is intense for that.
I want to sit outside, like it's beautiful, like this with all the old buildings and stuff, and like you're kind of in that cobblestone street. You want to sit outside and have a nice dinner, but everyone fucking smokes, and it just like kind of ruins the vibe a little bit. Because like at some points, like I'm like, I don't care, but then when it was it was just a lot all the time. It was just starting to wear me down a little bit. So I was keen to get back to a no smoke area and just enjoy breathing in fresh air. But overall, Zurich was great. My brother gets in tomorrow. Shout out Crispy Hall, CEO and president of Squid Club. He's going to be coming on the pod at some point. You'll love him. He's hilarious. He's excited to come out with the boys, hang out, have a few drinks, enjoy the off season with us.
He's excited to be a terrible influence for a couple of weeks.
Well, that's exactly why he's here. His team morale. His team terrible influence. We got
head of off-season planning committee.
We got a few concerts coming up. We got Chet Faker, 20th. We got Bink coming in, red hot, friend of the pod. He's going to be performing in Denver. Everybody that wants to go to Denver and see him, you should definitely go. He's amazing. Buy tickets. Go see him. He's incredible. And then Lewis and the Child at Red Rocks, 13th of
Oh yeah,
October.
George, you got to book tickets to that. Did Ollie tell you about that?
You just told me this morning.
Yeah, it was like
Getting
okay.
hookup.
So I've been under the impression that to go to Red Rocks you have to pay $1 bajillion, but these tickets are like reasonably priced. And this is going to be like the greatest crossover of all time because we're going with all the Bauman people.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I didn't tell you
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Ollie didn't
yeah.
mention
Didn't
that.
mention that. No.
That's who invited
How
me
come?
in, because that's who invited me. I was with like Woody and Elise and stuff, and they're all going. And I think Grant's coming in, and then we might even. I think Joey Barrett too might be coming as well. So even a Tinman crossover. So it's gonna be special. We're
Tim
gonna
and
invite
Bauman Coffee Club crossover.
as many people as we can in the running world
Hell yeah.
to
Imagine,
come.
okay, guys, imagine the merch there.
Well, me and Ollie were. Wait, no, you weren't even there. I was inviting Elise to the gala. We were working out at the same track.
Is she coming?
Well, I think so.
I think she is.
We were quite vague about dates, but
Yeah, well, we got to put that out. We'll put that out.
We
Yeah,
do. People
at
have
some
started
point.
asking me, guys. So we really gotta.
Yeah.
We
need
gotta
to
write that
7th
invite.
7th or 6th of October. We got to write the poem, get the invite out.
Is it going to be a day party or a night party? Did we work that out?
it's going to be both.
We should just do afternoon to night, maybe get a bit of
Okay.
both.
I like that.
Yeah, but imagine the merch we could make with the Bauman crossover, Tin Man crossover, Coffee Club merch.
Huge.
It'd be sick.
For Louis the Child. That's going to be a fun time.
Louis the Child. Louis the Child.
We'll have to post about that.
Yeah, so that's my off-season plans. Really,
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I'm looking forward. I'm really excited to spend time with my brother. He's one of my favorite people in the world. So get 2 weeks with that man. He gets to enjoy George and Morgan. He actually gets to enjoy to make fun of George a lot because George is a Kiwi. Being a true blue Aussie the way he is, he's going to give
hold
George
back.
a very special time. They're going to have a very special bonding time.
Yeah, that's right. Your Blacks beat the Wallabies.
Yeah,
this
I
morning.
know. We just watched the highlights.
Won the Blizzard Cup again, so he can make fun of me as much as he wants.
All right, we'll see how he responds to that. But George, off-season plans.
Off-season plans. Going to where am I going? Sacramento tomorrow. That's the plan. California for the weekend. I'll let you and Crispy destroy the house for the weekend. And
Hey, he's
then,
a builder. He'll fix it after we've destroyed it.
No. I'm not very good at relaxing though. Got in 35 miles on the bike yesterday.
What? Why?
You're psycho.
I just biked with
Jenna.
Jenna to Jamestown. It's pretty sweet actually.
Don't know where that
It was-
is, but that sounds
A
fun.
leisurely bike ride, or was it intense?
Oh, she did like a workout, so I just did it with her.
Jeez, you're a good boyfriend.
No,
no,
that
no.
does sound pretty fun. That does sound cool.
No, it was good.
Wait, Morgan, are you being sarcastic or?
No. I think. I mean, personally, I wouldn't do that. Like in this moment, can I tell you guys? Like, I didn't have anything to do this morning because I had to go to work, and I was like, maybe I'll like jog down to the Sen and like check out like the like workout equipment there because I just like haven't done anything. And I put my running clothes on and I just sat on the bed on my phone, and then until she came back.
That's off season, baby. That is off season.
I was like, oh, I'm not doing anything. Like maybe I'll just to kill the time, and then I just didn't. I was like, no, this feels way better. But no, I actually legitimately like when I get back to Colorado, I would love to finally like take advantage of like trying to do some biking up one of those big mountains or like some rock climbing outside or something. So I do think that does sound fun.
Yeah. You won't
Yeah.
see me doing that, but yeah.
Ollie's supposed to have started running already, I think,
Oh, special spot.
because we raced a few days after him, so
Yeah.
he's
I'm gonna run
already
tomorrow.
he's already
I'll run
breaking the
tomorrow.
rules.
Yeah,
Wait,
I'm
for
not
realsies?
breaking the rules. I had some other stuff to do, aka traveling, getting
Time
back into the
flies.
country. Yeah,
5 days just like
all
that.
off season. So you got Sacramento. Morgan's gonna be in Paris for a bit, and then my brother comes in. So still doing stuff. But
Then we're all back.
I tell you what, I'm excited for is Coffee Club Pod during the fall. I think our week-to-week podcast during the fall is going to be pretty interesting. I think the way we're going to get things going and talk about things and hopefully get some special guests on. It's going to be nice.
I think
And
we'll
we're
try
gonna
to
all be
bring
together.
so many guests on. I think like every
So
week,
many.
just like bring in a guest.
You know what I thought of an idea-wise? I know I'm saying this on the pod now, which could be bad, but we should get someone to like 3 people to come in and mimic us for a podcast, and then we don't say anything. So like then someone pretends to be Morgan, does like the way that Morgan talks. Someone pretends to be me, does the way and dresses the same as well, and then George as well. And then we just have them on the pod pretending to be us, and we don't say
Amazing.
anything, and we just do like a video clip, and you could only find the video clip. I think that'd be really funny.
I
Like
think that's a great idea.
a dubbed one.
Like a dubbed one. Yeah. And then just pretend to be us. It'd be hilarious.
Someone will probably make that now.
And then we get a
Yeah.
dog, dress up a dog in a bulldog costume.
A fake Gus.
Fake Gus.
No, I think that's a great idea. See, those are the types of wild and wacky ideas that we're going to be bringing to you guys this fall. So I hope you guys are all very excited. The things that come out of the brains of the coffee club they're crazy. They're crazy. You never know what's going to be coming next. But yeah, I mean, fuck, dude. Episode 52, obviously part 2 is going to roll into it after this. But do you guys have any mid episode outros that you want to give after episode 52? Because
I think,
It's a big one.
I mean, the one thing I'm sure you guys will say it too, but a big special thank you to everyone that's been listening for the past year. I think Morgan, myself, and Georgia just get gobsmacked by the amount of support and people that love the podcast and love to follow our journeys in this sport. So it's a very, very humbling thing. It's a very lovely thing. And to be able to, listen to us and support us for a year, even with the beans and everything, special thank you to you guys. We love you and we really appreciate you guys supporting us and listening to us. And hopefully we can keep continuing to bring out absolute bangers every week, and hopefully it gets better, or if it gets more, focused on hopefully giving you guys some content, some merch, whatever it is. We're really thankful for you guys' support. So I think
I think that speaks for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing to add
Thank
to
you so
that.
much. Yeah.
Thank you. Well,
Now we just got to get all the boys back together, and I'm excited for that one.
yeah. Well, with that, I think that's episode 52, midway. I hope you guys really enjoy the second part of it. We'll see you guys next week.
Alrighty, guys. Welcome back to part 2 of episode 52 of the Coffee Club. We're going to give you a very special end of the year. And George here, joined by Ollie. Unfortunately, no Morgan for part 2 today. He's away on business trip, taking it much more seriously than we are.
Honestly, I think everyone's missed one now, because you missed one last week. I've missed one in Florida, and now Morgan's had to miss one as well. So it's all even.
I think it was destiny that we all had to miss one in the first year. But we're ending the year with a very special guest that we will introduce in just a minute. But first, I'd like to just take a quick minute to thank On for making this happen today. We're very lucky to be in Zurich at a special location and set up by On running themselves. So I'll let Ollie introduce the location. A very special place, I know, in his heart. So let's hear about it.
I think I've spent most of my money here when I come to Zurich. This is a very special place for me. When I think of heaven, I think of coffee shop. This coffee shop is probably one of my all-time favorites. And I've been very fortunate enough to travel to a lot of coffee shops around the world with the racing that we've been able to do. And when I came here the first time, I thought I couldn't leave. I think I was here for about 3-4 hours and I had 4 or 5 coffees, and my caffeine just rush. But this is Collective Bakery. It's actually very, very close to the On headquarters, which is just to the right of us. And probably, my all-time favorite coffee shop. And if you guys, obviously, listening through every week's pod, and you are able to watch it too, you might see there's a bit of an Easter egg here with the mugs that we use. When we started the podcast, we started to use probably regularly these mugs that we have on the table right now. When I first came here, I loved this coffee shop so much and the vibe that it kind of gave. I bought 4 mugs for me, George, and Morgan, and then obviously a guest to use on the Coffee Club pod. So that's a little Easter egg there, because they use these mugs in this coffee shop, and it's one of my all-time favorite places. So to be able to do a podcast here last, 52 weeks, 1 year, to do it here on headquarters to the right of us, can't get better than this. Obviously Morgan's not here, but yeah, that's his problem.
Oh, special way to the end of the year. And even better, I think, the person who introduced us to the Collective Bakery is sitting to my right.
Yeah.
Mr. Jordan Donnelly.
Yeah.
Being as we just talked about it, an audience member a couple of times to the Coffee Club. This is his laptop, Coffee Club sticker on it. Very loyal. Jordan, what do you do for On here?
Yeah. So it's quite funny that we're here on the week of the Zurich Diamond League, because it was actually 52 weeks ago. that we actually all first met here in Zurich.
That's right.
Probably at the Collective Bakery. And that was the start of the journey, which I'm pretty sure most of the viewers and listeners have also been a part of. With the whole product creation and seeing how everything came out with the products.
I bet we talked about starting the podcast while we were here. I don't know if we even mentioned that, but we would already been started talking about getting a coffee club kind of podcast going. So that's interesting.
Yeah. So it's good that we're here full circle 52 weeks later. So my job within On is I lead the product creation team specifically for the athletes, and that's in the innovation team. And the idea is that we use our top level athletes like George and Ollie, the rest of the OAC and a few other athletes around that as well. And we really integrate them into the product creation process. So take all the insights, the learnings, biomechanics, physiology, the mentality of the athletes and try to integrate that into the product. I mean, I sit here, one guy, but to my right in the headquarters there's another, right now, 22 people in the team, from designers, developers, chemical engineers, sports scientists. And as a team working together with the athletes, how we've managed to integrate those insights through different iterations to get to the final products, which you see on the track right now. I think to do this in a year.
Less than a year.
Yeah, pretty spectacular. I mean,
yeah, 52 weeks ago. How many people are on that team when you joined?
I think 3 of us.
3 of you. Yeah.
Yeah, Jonas and Timon. We were there at the Letzigrund, the big Diamond League stadium, and getting the first insights. And then we had some handmade prototypes in Boulder in October, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we came back in the indoor season with George's famous Milrose Games moment.
Textbook George moment there that we definitely capitalize on for the Coffee Club pod. We loved showing that reel around and really rubbing it into New Gen's faces, I think, because they were doing a filming for the same time and we were just pushing that. But it's actually quite incredible. I think people won't fully take to grasp. You were able to create performance shoes for these athletes in probably 11 months. Yeah. And the journey for that, I imagine your team is very tired, but the validation of that, what you've seen in the past season, I guess, with all the races and the athletes we've been able to bring upon, it's pretty fantastic. And we've been really wanting to get you on this podcast, so we're really happy to get you here and be able to pick your brain. And obviously, our listeners can hear your insights onto On and to what's you've been doing the past 11 months to get us to where we are, where everyone keeps asking me to sell my spikes every meet I go to. So,
yeah. And you say, I mean, you obviously hit an innovation here, but I mean, we've been lucky enough to see what you do on top of your role at On and, organizing things day in and day out he almost feels part of the team and part of the family at OAC. I know I've spent a couple of nights at Jordan's house here in Zurich. Thank you, Nancy, putting up with the team
and me.
And I know a couple of others on the OAC have, and we've been able to share some of those moments, like at Milrose, having, I don't know if it's, I haven't been with any other brands, but being able to be hands-on with the people making the shoes and then having them with you winning a race like that, and you guys were right on the sideline, maybe more excited than I was, if that was possible. So that's been a really special part of the OAC journey over the last year is how involved we are with the shoe team, and we feel really grateful to have that part of the team. So, and I think that gets into, we realize, there's so many people on the shoemaking team, and how the hell do you get into the shoemaking business?
Yeah, it's a good question.
There's not exactly a bachelor's degree.
Yeah, I mean, for example, I studied economics, so it's nothing to do really with shoemaking. I think there's a few basic things which can help you along the way. I'm sure there's a lot of listeners who are asking the same question. I mean, the first and foremost, you need to be passionate about the sport, and that will take you a long way and lay a foundation for you. And for me personally, I mean, I was a track runner, 800 meters. And then during college, I just took a part-time job while I was studying in a local running store, selling running shoes. And I never used to know the difference between a running shoe and a casual shoe for so on, I just used to run in whatever basic shoes out there. So just getting into the sport that way, learning a little bit about the business side of it. And then there's a lot of, every company basically offers internships. And during university, I had to do a couple of internships. So during my time working at the running store, I bumped into a couple of tech reps, sales reps, and said, hey, how do I do your job? How do I get your job and be part of this industry? And like, hey, well, how about you take an internship in one of these companies? So like, for example, now Carlos Villarreal, your former teammate there, now he's a tech rep with On, so that's kind of the route at which I started to get the foot in the door. And then, for me personally, it just snowballed crazily. Like, I guess I did like an interesting experience in Adidas and then in Puma. And then they offered me a job in Vietnam, working in shoe factories. So we picked up a lot around the engineering and how to build shoes, that side. And then the journey went back to Germany, a few years in the US, and just evolved up and up, going across a few different departments and just accumulating different experiences and different brands within different departments to accumulate, where we are today, to put it all together, the different aspects. So I would say there's, many roads lead to Rome. There's not one road that you need to take. There's different angles, but if you start with the right passion, try and find yourself a small foot in the door. That's really the first step which you need to take. And I wouldn't plan so far ahead in the future because you just don't know what the next one is. You just have to be prepared and be open to take it. So
100%. I mean, if you think about your journey in particular, you were at Puma before this, correct?
Yeah, Adidas.
Adidas. And those are two major companies that have been around for a very long time. On hasn't been around for quite as long as that. So, I mean, I'm sure your journey going through thinking where you're going to be, you don't know where you're going to actually end up. And personally, I'd like to know, like, and I'm sure listeners too, is like, why transition to On?
Yeah.
What led you to go, I'd love to be able to, hit the ground running with this company and start to produce its first pretty much performance track spike, super shoe, all that sort of stuff. So what led you to make that decision?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone knows me, like I'm quite like, I don't know, I have like a sense of urgency and I want to make stuff happen.
Yeah, we know that.
I mean, you guys know
That's
that.
putting it lightly.
Yeah, it's very putting it lightly.
So I just like to make stuff happen. And obviously my biggest passion is running. So when I see in the market like opportunity in the whole running space, that was one side of it. The other side was those other companies. I mean, I had an absolutely fantastic time and experience in both Adidas and Puma. I can't say anything bad about those companies. They got me to where I am today. But there's a lot of frustration when you have many layers of management and decision makers who are not actually that close to the sport, and they make decisions which don't really, without the context behind it.
Yeah.
So that was very frustrating when you're like quite young, when you have ideas and you never get the playground or the platform to express those ideas. So I had a conversation many years ago with Olivier Bernard. He's the founder of On. At that time, me and my wife were happy living in another country. I was like, yeah, maybe not the time to join On. And then around 18 months ago, he came back to me with this idea that, hey, how about we build a team within the innovation team who purely focuses on creating the most high performance footwear and apparel and accessories just for the athletes. And you can lead the team, you can build it how you want. We won't interfere at all. There won't be any like political stuff and management layers. It'll just be you, the athletes, and the resources you need to make it happen.
And
So
from what you know of other companies, is that totally unique?
oh yeah, this doesn't happen somewhere else. Yeah, I mean, I've tried to make it happen in the other companies, but there's so many structures and stuff. And those companies are like 50, 60, 70 years old with maybe 10,000 employees. And I think the rise of On and this coinciding at the same time was just like the perfect storm. And as well, I mean, both of your guys' careers and the rest of the athletes, I think that's also really played into it heavily as well. I mean, the results speak for themselves on your side. So it was such a big opportunity, and I was really convinced. And I just said to Olivier, the founder, I said, hey, I'm convinced, but you need to speak with my wife because she's already moved her life from US to Germany and then having to move again. It's a lot of convincing. So he spoke to my wife, and then my wife came back to me. She says, hey, I think we're moving to Zurich.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, so.
And then you had to earn brownie points ever since.
Yeah, it's me and Dathan, the coach, who have a joke that neither of us see our wives very much. It's quite bad. But she puts up with a lot of it. And yeah, I have to earn a lot of brownie points. Like, I think the season ends basically Zurich Diamond League.
Yep.
My wife said, hey, when's the last race of the season? I said, here at home in Zurich, Thursday. This was a couple months ago. A week later, I just got an email. She'd booked a holiday, leaving at 7 a.m. Friday morning.
I love that your season ends the same day as ours.
Yeah. So
that shows how intertwined we are. And that timing is incredible. Like Olivier talking to you about starting that team and also talking to Dathan about starting our team. Yeah. That's kind of such similar timing. Like 2 years ago, we joined a team or a brand with, I don't even know what we were running in. I'm not going to be I mean, they were shoes, but we didn't have, they weren't competitive at the time with what's out there at the moment. And again, Ollie's racing in a pretty incredible pair of spikes tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I'm racing in a pretty great pair of road flats on Sunday. And that's all happened in the time since we've been with the brand. And that seems ludicrous that can happen so quickly. Is that also just totally unique in this space?
Yeah, it definitely is unique. I mean, if you compare just to the standard in the market, different competitors, it's maybe 18 to 24 months to go through that kind of process. And I think just having like this very tactical team with a very clear idea of what we want to do, and then just really going through it without any distractions. And I'd say two huge things helped us. One is being so close to the athletes to get the insights directly. So we'd meet the athletes in the US and then fly directly to like Asia to implement changes. We had a huge deadline of, okay, World Champs starts 15th of July. We need everything finished at least a month before to get the World Athletics approvals and so on. So that's one side. The other thing is just the complete freedom of the organization here and the support to really just whatever resources we need to make it happen. We've been made like the top priority in the whole brand, which causes a bit of a stare with other people who also want to push their things. But the brand realizes how important the high performance credibility is. So they've really made it a priority. And those two things coming together has allowed us to work in double speed to achieve what we've achieved. So
you talk about those deadlines for products and being able to wear shoes. I mean, how far in advance do you have to plan a shoe drop? Like that timeline goes back pretty far. You said 18, 24 months.
Yeah.
Does that mean, you're looking 18 to 24 months from now?
Yeah. So right now, for example, we're already way on the way of doing all of our Paris 24 innovations and products and different concepts. So the current collection, which everyone sees now on the website and so on, this is the foundation. Now that's solid and we know it performs well based on the results you guys are having. So now we can look forward to Paris, and yeah, we're probably, I'd say 25% of the way along the journey to Paris with a bunch of different concepts. So maybe about 2 years out. Yeah.
You feeling 25% of the way along in preparation for Paris?
Definitely not feeling that. But it's just so interesting to think about the journey of a product such as that, and particularly with the Spike, because there was that super shoe era phase that we always joke and talk about when the shoes dropped, and then a lot of careers are starting to shift because they're just relying on this one shoe. And now you have companies now that are all competing in the same kind of, I call, level playing field of a super shoe. Every company now has a version of a super shoe, right, for the track. So I think interesting for a lot of people listening and obviously getting Jordan to talk about the journey that On has faced from when you first started to Boulder coming in, pretty much hand making a Spike for us to try, and then Florida, Milrose, the funny conversations you had with some people there from other companies, and then leading into like Oslo World Champs, and people meddling in the Spike Com Games. Would you be able to explain just the processes that you were able to go through, like the timeline of the Spike, that what people see now? Yeah. How did that start, and every progression there forward with your team, and why it was so important to work with the athletes?
Yeah. So, it all starts with, we ask the question, what do we want to achieve here? And for us, that's what we call the journey. And that's when we get the insights directly from the athletes of what they feel mentally, physically, and then what are the solutions where we can provide solutions there, as well as a lot of academic research, sports science research, and so on. And this allows us to build quite a good body of work of, let's say, performance benefits at which we're looking to achieve. Based on that, we engage the product engine, which is designers, engineers, chemical engineers, different aspects around creating specific product solutions. And with those first concepts, we're basically hand making them. So we have a mini factory here in Zurich where we can hand make prototypes very, very fast. And with those initial concepts, that's what we tested in Boulder. So in October 15th last year, when we come over to Boulder, and that's really to validate, hey, we're looking for this specific performance benefit. It might be reduce impact on the body or provide extra forefoot propulsion or whatever it is. And we say, does this concept or different concepts we've created, do they actually meet that? And that needs to get your feedback. We did a bunch of sports science testing to validate it. And with that feedback in October, we go to the next step, which is making a real factory-made product, basically. So we did that between October and the indoor season. So basically in the indoor season, what we revealed at Milrose Games, the two different spikes, Sage ran a 4:24 mile in the more middle distance spike, and then George and Alicia ran in a longer distance spike.
And they won, right? Like,
yeah.
I think they won in those spikes. Yeah. And
it was a new generation for On.
Yeah, and I remember there was like a section of the spike George was working on, and you actually went and sawed it down to make sure the shape was correct for George. Like, these are things that like people wouldn't be able to know about when they're watching the race. And like, there's the innovation team are literally still innovating.
Yeah, so
I think you were grinding them down the night before, if not the day of the race.
So we went to the track for the pre-meet the day before, and the athletes did a bit of some strides running off the bend and so on in the products, and then giving me some feedbacks. And they were like, okay, the spike plate was a little bit too rounded, a little bit too built up in some areas. So we took the spikes back, or we went out for dinner, took the spikes back, and then actually Justin Britton, the famous photographer guy, he was sharing a room with me in New York. And it was like 1:00 in the morning, and I was in the hotel bathroom with a Dremel, like removing part of the spike. And he wakes up in the night to like go to the bathroom, and he walks in the bathroom. He's like, "What's going on?" And I was standing there with like a Dremel, like shaving off some piece of the spike. I was like, "Oh yeah, it's for the athletes tomorrow." He's like, "They're gonna race in that tomorrow." I was like, "Yeah, maybe."
Well, that's the funny thing, because I still didn't know if I was going to run it or not. I'd done strides in like 3 or 4 pairs of spikes the day before that I'd brought with me. And
it was a game time decision.
It was literally game time. I brought the spikes we had been wearing, which were the Dragonfly, and I brought the new On spike with me to the track. I still hadn't decided what I was going to wear. Went out to warm up on freaking in the dark in the snow. I was like, I don't know. Still don't know what I'm going to do. Got back, and then if anyone's run at the Armory, it's kind of like that 3-level building. You come in, and then there's like the athlete warm-up level.
It's hot in there.
On the second floor. And
very hot.
And normally you probably just maybe do a couple of strides in there and trainers and take your spikes upstairs and put them on up in the core room. But I was like, shit, like I need to decide now before I go upstairs. So I took both pairs of spikes into the little hallway and threw the On ones on. I was like, I'm just do a stride and see what happens. And I just pulled them out of the bag, like fresh from the Dremel, did a stride. I was like, that actually feels all right. Walked back, did one more. I was just like, fuck it. I'll do it. And so I just left the other ones down there, took them upstairs.
And then everyone remembers.
The rest is the history.
Everyone remembers that last 50 meters. I think George extended that last 50 meters to 250 meters with the fan celebration. And the one thing that I'm sure Jordan and the innovation team were experiencing was everybody was looking at something, and it was George's feet. It was Alicia's feet. And,
were you guys just waiting to see what we were wearing coming out?
It was quite nerve-wracking for us because, actually seeing the products in a training session and so on is one thing, but on the world stage, like the Milrose Games, for the very first time, I'm like, I hope they don't nothing wrong, goes wrong.
Snaps in half.
So Andy Wheaton is shaking. He's like, oh, he's wearing the spikes. And I was like, oh man. And then when you fell back a little bit with 600 meters to go, I was like, oh no. And then when you came through, oh man, it was, it all worked out. So then we knew, we were like, okay,
good day for everyone.
And a really important thing happened that day as well. So specifically for all of that, we brought the team over from Zurich, plus also some of our team from Vietnam who actually make the products in the factory there. so they could really experience the experience, the vibes, what the athletes feel, and so on. And having those wins really took us to the next level to make them realize like what all of this crazy work is for.
They're experiencing a result. That's what's important, because like you're in a factory and you're seeing these shoes, but you're not seeing George, kick down and win the Millrose Games 3K. You're not seeing Alicia hold off and win the Millrose Games 3. Like you don't like seeing that, the validation from that. I could see it from the team. They were very, very. They got a second win, because I can imagine there's a lot of work that goes into just getting that shoe out. To now they're like, okay, we can go again. We can make it better. We can craft this, and that's what happened next with the shoe that they see now today, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know you could see it with the team. You took a damn photo with the shoe team with the want to make a trophy on the track with the shoe team around you. That was freaking sweet.
They were it was just amazing to be able to have, because I feel like that was the thing. Like they see photos and they're in the building, experiencing it maybe on TV or seeing replays, but being there when you have the energy behind it, it really gives you a vamp of like, I'm producing something that's contributing to success, not just for the athlete but for the brand, and particularly a brand that's not very well known. I mean, you knew that because you had a little comment to somebody when they were trying to figure out who you were working for, remember?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speak so much about about these things, but yeah, there was definitely a few brands question who we are, what we're doing, not really taking too much notice, like we don't need to worry about them. But yeah, I think it's a slightly different opinion right now.
Yeah, well, what you said to them after Millrose? You said, didn't you say something? Statement?
I don't know what to say, like...
I think you said we're coming for you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So we were there, and it was I'll tell you who it was. It was Craig Masbach. He's the head of all sports marketing at Nike, and he was kind of like, "Who are you? Like, who do you work for?" And I said, "I was like, oh, who are they?" And I was like, "Oh," and he walked off, and I said, "Hey, watch your back. We're coming for you." And then lo and behold, less than 24 hours later, the two marquee signings. I don't know what they call them, Teardrop and.
Teardrop and Hulk Cocker, yeah.
Those two,
those two, the golden boys of Phil Knight's track club.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that Mr. Masbach realized who we were.
He's heard of the
at that point.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he's here at the Diamond League, so maybe I don't have to introduce myself anymore.
Yeah, you should ask him. Well, who do you work for?
Yeah, he's about to retire.
Yeah,
maybe good for him. He can get out the way before we rarely overtake them. So. Yeah. From the indoor season, all the learnings. Went to the outdoor season, and I always say, the athletes are the cake, we're just the icing. It's without all of the. I mean, I think we're lucky to see like what you guys do day in, day out.
Yeah.
That gets you to the get you there. I think the products give you a little bit of an advantage, but without the hard work, it's
just
that makes me think now. I brought this up to Ollie and Morgan the other day. Now that, we do have such a competitive product and so does everyone else. And, we are on a reasonably level playing field. Maybe there's a couple of hairs spread here and there. But, are the shoes, we've been calling them super shoes for years because they were super compared to the other shoes. But now now they're just shoes.
Yeah.
Like everyone's got super shoes. Does that mean like, is the super shoe era over?
Well, there's still super shoes to Dathan because he reckons he could run 12:40 if he was wearing the on spike now. So
where do we go now?
I don't know.
What comes next?
Tim Hutchins, the famous commentator.
Yeah,
he's probably let everyone listen to him tonight when he's commentating. He's not the biggest fan because he's kind of era around Dathan.
Old school.
He's old school. So to them, they'll always be super shoes. But
it's going to be because we're all running faster than them now.
Yeah,
to be fair, and that's the thing is technology is going to improve, so you have to keep up with the times.
Yeah.
What do you see as your vision and your part of the shoe development?
Yeah.
Part of the sport, like where does that go?
Yeah, I mean for me it's pretty clear because I don't think people understand that when you have a super shoe and people say energy return and propulsion and all of this type of stuff. You're never going to generate any more energy than you put into the shoe. So you always start with 100%, you put it into the shoe, and in the past, maybe 50 or 60% came back and helped you. Now these shoes maybe are helping you 70 or 80%. So there's still a margin to get back to that 100%. So I do think there is definitely, I have a job, hopefully, because to keep pushing it forward. But there definitely is more ways you can refine it. I don't want to speak so much about how, because that's
your business.
Now.
That's not anyone else's.
Absolutely.
But there definitely is still quite a margin ahead of us, because the amount of braking force or impact you put into the ground is 100%, and until you get 100% back, I think there's still work to be done. I mean, you could get more than 100% if you really have some device in there, but they're banned anyway, so there's no worry there. But there's definitely a margin. There's a lot of things what people don't really think about, like the elephant in the room, or more simpler things, which can go a long way. Maybe we leave it at that in terms of what is exactly next, but we know the competitors are not sleeping. So we need to be on our game, and now the team is literally 7 times the size than it was a year ago, and we have double the amount of time between now and Paris. So I'm pretty confident that we can keep supplying good solutions for you guys to,
So it's something pretty special in Paris.
Yeah. It's either that or I have to pack my bag.
Well, I have to ask this question because I keep getting DMs. I keep getting people asking me when I'm out there running. Is the spike going to be available for the high school kid, for the college kid, for somebody who wants to be able to buy that spike?
Yeah.
Is that going to be happening pretty soon?
Yeah, it's going to be happening pretty soon. So officially, I mean, for World Athletics, very transparent the rules and so on. You need the product to be on sale 30 days before. So we got all of this approvals. We sold a relatively small quantity of pairs based as well on a lot of supply chain issues. So people might have seen them online, or if you were lucky enough to be in Zurich at the headquarters here. So there are some products out there of the different aspects. But what we're going to do now is really have a huge release in a much bigger quantity. So all the fans, whether it's high school track for the indoor season, marathon runners coming up in the fall and in the spring, they're going to be getting their hands on kind of a restock of everything. And then it doesn't end there. I mean, this is the foundation, and there's a whole pipeline of even fresher stuff coming along the way as well. So, just keep your eyes out on the guys' feet, see what's going on there, and you can get a hold of that as well. But yeah, for me, it's super important. Like, I mean, I'm a huge football or soccer fan, and it doesn't make sense if you're a kid and you see Messi or Ronaldo score a goal and then you can't buy the football boots. That's not good. So for me, that's a huge stipulation that the products are available as well for a fair price as well. I think super shoe prices are like ridiculous, actually, especially to like high schoolers. It's a lot of pressure on the parents. So that's also another thing I'm pushing, that these shoes are not like, because we hear about some other brands going to charge like $400 or $500. We're like, that ain't fair to the kid,
No.
So
Hashtag
not good for the sport right there. $400, $500, particularly for kids that do a sport that, it doesn't cost that much gear to get running gear. So, but that's exciting. I think a lot of fans, a lot of listeners are excited about that, because they've been hounding us down about trying to get a pair of the spikes, pair of the super shoes, of the road shoes. So, well, that's exciting. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see more guys out there running in the On logo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. I guess the only other thing that we kind of have down on the list relating to the footwear is, obviously there's a big push and on stuff as well for kind of just the more sustainable shoe and making a shoe out of products better for the planet, and On has a few of those coming out, like the Cyclone program and a few of those. How does your team kind of deal with the sustainability versus performance aspect of?
Yeah, I mean, it's top of mind for us. It's a huge company priority for us, and we need to look at a couple of things. Firstly is the Cyclone project. It's almost like a Netflix kind of subscription service where you can subscribe to On, and you get sent a pair of shoes, and when you've ran a few miles through them and you need a new pair, you'll send them back, you get a new pair. And they're created out of castor beans, which goes into a different polymer, which we can make all the different components of the shoe. So it makes it fully circular. Now, a lot of those components are not the most high performance components. And with athletes like yourself, we don't want to compromise performance just to have a sustainable material. So what we're trying to do is create different components of the product. So for you, it might just be the upper, which is completely sustainable. But when it comes on more non-negotiable high performance pieces, we have to, take a bit of a hit there. As well, considering super shoes and so on, not the most volume driving shoes. And if you really want to make an impact on the environment, you're best doing it on the pair of shoes which you sell 1 million pairs of, because that really moves the needle. If you do it on the pair of shoes which you sell 2,000 pairs, it's just a marketing statement and it has it's more greenwashing. So if you notice on our website and what's coming into the future, most of On's like really fully sustainable products are on the really everyday running big volume products. And I think that's a huge way these companies can really have an impact on the environment for the positive effect. And yeah, we're always looking where we can integrate those sustainable components into the high performance products. And the dream is by, for example, LA28, we've got, for example, the marathon running shoes where the athlete runs the marathon in a high performance product. Just after the finish line, they take it off, they put it in a recycling bin. We take the components back. For example, that carbon plate, which the athlete might have ran the Olympic marathon in, goes into another new pair of shoes. And maybe the right one goes to one shoe, the left one to another. So someone in Argentina or Sweden, they can scan the QR code and see, oh, wow, the carbon plate in my shoe was used in the Olympic marathon. And that's how we can reuse these components. And that's one of the ideas of how we're going to bring high performance or sustainability into the high performance products. Yeah.
It's really interesting. I think a lot of people are excited about that, and the way On in itself is starting to look at more sustainable ways to develop products. So. Yeah. But we've taken up enough of your time, Jordan. We really appreciate you coming on, and I know a lot of listeners are going to be pretty excited about this episode. And we should say thank you again so much to On for setting us up, and Collected Bakery for having us in here. I mean, I'd never leave this place if I didn't have to. So
we'll be back here tomorrow.
We'll be back here tomorrow. I'll be back here before the Diamond League final. But yeah, thank you so much, and we really appreciate what you've done for the team. I mean, we can't speak highly enough of what you've been able to achieve in just 11 months. You've got Jingy looking at my shoes and asking what are those. So I really enjoy him trying to get confused and figure out what's going on there. So thank you very much, Jordan, and thank you guys. This is it. This is our little special thing. I know you missed Morgan, but you got George and I. So
yeah, awesome. Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, guys, for listening.
1 year of Coffee Club. Cheers.